So hello, on this channel we talk about independent spirituality and folk magic for free spirits. My name is Esther, I am a Brazilian folk witch, astrologer and tarot reader, and in today's video I have the honor of doing a collaboration with one of the creators that I admire the most on this entire community and this entire platform, which is Chaotic Witch Aunt. Frankie's channel is one of the channels that I have been watching for years, and I can't really put into words how much it means to me to be doing a collab with them. This video is in the same style that I have done with Shidi from the House of Azar some months ago, 2 Lies and 1 Truth, and it is going to be divided into 2 parts. One part is going to be on my channel and the other part is going to be on Frankie's channel. So to watch the entire thing, you're gonna have to go to their channel after watching mine and vice versa. This collab is really fun and there's a lot of juicy information about our practices, so I hope that you will enjoy it as much as it was enjoyable for me to participate. If you don't know Chaotic Witch Aunt, I will link all of their social platforms, YouTube, Instagram and whatnot, in the description down below, okay? Now, let's get to the video. So hello everybody. Today, as you can see, we have a very special guest with us. It's Frankie, the Chaotic Witch Aunt. Please, Frankie, introduce yourself to the people who might not know you.
Hi, my name is Frankie. I'm also known as Chaotic Witch Aunt by most of the internet. And I am an Italian-American folk practitioner. I am a self-described heretic. And I do things like write books and make videos and sell products.
Yes. What are your pronouns?
Oh, they, them.
Okay, great.
Great question.
So I think it is kind of hard that people will not know you, but there's always somebody. So if you don't know Frankie and their content, all their links are going to be in the description for you to check them out. And today we are going to have a collab. Yes, if you haven't guessed it. We are going to take turns saying statements about our practices, and we are going to try and guess what is the true statement of one another, because it's going to be like 2 lies and 1 truth. So, do you want to start?
It's up to you. We can flip a coin, because I went kind of ham with these. I read them over and I go, these are some of them are really hard and some of them sound insane. So because I watched your video and I'm like, oh, okay, so these things are on the table. We can talk about them.
We can talk about any kind of topic, and this is cool because each of the statements, they can become a little bit of a discussion for us to talk about something related to our practices. So
yeah,
I will start then. I'm gonna say 3 statements and you try to guess what's the truth. So I practice astral travel. I don't perform weekly offerings. I work with unknown ancestors.
Unknown ancestors? It's that one.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, no way you practice astral travel. No, I don't know a single folk practitioner who's like, I'm in the astral. So I was like, and I'm like, you definitely give weekly offerings. So can I ask how you venerate unknown ancestors?
So I have a theory about that, because I have started with the classic ancestral work, but I am overseas. I am on the other side of the ocean. My family and everything is in Brazil and I am living in France. So I don't have access to anything physical that is connected to my known ancestors. I don't have any kind of belongings. Their graves, they are not nearby. Absolutely not. So I started the process, and I believe that the spirits that were available, because they've been dead for longer, were the unknown ancestors, the ones that respond by pombagira, for example. Yeah. Those were the ones who picked up the phone at the end, and not the known ones. So I kind of have this theory that if you don't have anything physical that is attached to a person, you're not going to really get hold of them. Or maybe I'm not there yet. I don't know how to do it. It could also be. But yes, that's my case.
I think that that's definitely something to think about too, because like I do known and unknown, and the known ones are, I have pictures of them and I know their name. And so it's a physical tether to like them. And the unknown ones they tend to be a little, sometimes I say spicier, or like
Definitely.
like they're just a
Definitely.
little, sometimes I get like dreams from them and they're like
they have no filter. They don't
no
care
filter.
anymore. They don't care anymore.
No, and not at all. There's a lot of healing with like closer ancestors and a lot of our personal relationships there.
Yes. So even if I was not able to like reach out to them, to the known ones, as I thought I would have been, the process in itself was so healing when it comes to family dynamics, generational stuff. So it was definitely worth it anyway, even if the result, the outcome was not as expected. And let me ask you something. The pictures that you have of yours, are they pictures that belonged to those people, or are they reprints?
I have no idea.
But are they like original?
I think some of them are. I think so. This is, you can kind of see her. That's Carolina. Her picture is definitely an original, and the ones of my great grandparents are original. But all the other ones, I think we have multiples on.
Okay. Because there's that too. I have pictures of mine as well, but I had to print them here.
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing.
I get what you're saying. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah. So the energy is simply not there, it's not the same thing. So there is some food for thought for the people watching. There may be some layers to ancestor work depending on where you're living and if you have access to objects or not. So now you go.
Oh God. Okay.
I give the idea, but I suck at this game. I get everything wrong.
Great.
I get everything wrong. I never guess the right one, and the other person guesses mine all the time. I'm terrible at this.
1 second. I'm pausing because my partner got home. So I have 4 sets, and this is going to be fun because I can kind of hop around and decide which ones I'm going to do.
Okay.
I have pissed off crossroads spirits to the point where they sought retaliation against me. I have several spirit familiars, only one of which is talked about publicly, and I consider myself a necromancer.
Can you read the first one again, please?
I have pissed off crossroads spirits to the point where they sought retaliation against me.
I'm divided, I'm torn between the first one and the third one.
Okay.
So, I will say the first one.
Is the truth?
Yeah. I did it. See?
It's number 2, which is funny because you're like, I think it's 1 or 3. I go,
it's 2 because like you work with animal spirits, so I thought maybe that could be
several. So one familiar that's always been around, one, and then one that I have contracted that I never talk about online.
Okay.
And I basically, that's kind of she never gave me permission to. And so I was like, okay, I guess no one knows about this. But I think I specifically wrote 1 and 2 because I'm like, these are like slightly correct, but wrong enough to not be right. I have pissed off the crossroads spirits.
Definitely. When I heard that, I was like, yeah, you did.
They never sought retaliation against me or anything like that. But I did like not feed them for a really long time. And I would get readings with my friend and I'd be like, nothing's happening, everything's going wrong. And he goes, did you feed the crossroad? And I go, no.
No.
No. And the second one, I consider myself a spirit worker.
Okay.
So it's like the verbiage is different. Necromantic things are like raising the dead very often, or conjuring, or kind of moving the dead in certain directions. And then I consider myself more to be in relation with the spirit. I have done things that push them, but so this is like my personal labels and opinions. I'm sure someone's like, that's not what necromancy means, and I go, well, that's what I've heard about it, if that makes sense.
In a way, we're all a little bit of necromancers, but there's a lot of it that that nowadays is illegal and we're not really able to, go and do the thing and
Yeah.
practice it without going to jail or something. So that puts some limitations to developing that craft, unfortunately. So I think that spirit worker is a great definition because it encompasses like everything in a more, comprehensive way, let's say.
Yeah, I tend to be very focused on ancestors and plants, both of which are spirits, but they're not dead things. Well, like ancestors are dead, but like they they're but like some of them aren't. Well, technically they're all dead, but like
I think that with necromancy, there's also a layer of working with spirits that have nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
They're not at all connected to us in any way, shape, or form. And we're not doing that, at least not for the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I tend to prefer the like closer relationships because I always feel like this makes me sound, there's less work. There's like less work to do when I go to my ancestors.
Yeah.
And I have definitely petitioned some cemetery spirits that like we don't have a relationship, and it was so much work because you gotta bring them things and like come back in 6 weeks, and you're like, I gotta get back here in 6 weeks. Damn.
And my God, lighting candles outdoors is a nightmare.
It's such a nightmare.
Oh my God.
The cemeteries here just don't even like allow it. And
I'm like, I never noticed there was so much wind outside. What's going on? It's no.
Well, then, like if you're in Colorado where I am, it gets so dry in the summer. We're under a red flag warning, which means you can't light anything. And so then you have the cemeteries that are like, don't start a fire, and I'm like, I can't. Okay, I'm not gonna start a fire, but like,
Yeah, here it's the wind. It gets really complicated to light anything, outdoors. So I started avoiding it just because I can't light the candle, damn it. It defeats the purpose completely.
Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, continuing, another 3. Sometimes my mother teaches me how to do things in my practice. My mother is a practitioner as well. My mother has encouraged my spirit work practice.
This one's hard because I don't know anything about your mother.
There you go. Finally.
Okay. I think she encourages your spirit work.
No.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah, no.
So, yes. So, my mother is a very special person when it comes to my connection to spirituality because my grandparents, they were folk practitioners. My grandmother, my mother's mom, she was a medium in a temple. My aunt also. So it was very present in the family. And on my father's side, I don't know how to say that in English, but my grandfather, he was a person who would receive people from the community at home and provide services, spiritual services. So cures, prayers, spirit consultations. So there was this kind of vibe in the generation of my grandparents. But from them to the present, all of that got lost. Everybody became Protestant for some reason on both sides of the family. And my mother, she's like the only person who hasn't, from like the generation right after my grandparents. And I was raised by her, so a lot of stuff that I've learned just by living with her and watching her. But she had her limitations because she never had access to information like we do nowadays. So she knows a lot of things, but she's afraid of spirits. So when she had the chance, when spirits were reaching out to her, she didn't want to go there. And when I started doing that, I took a long time to mention to her that I was doing it because I knew she would disencourage me. She would say stuff to make me feel afraid or something. Because for some reason, in Brazil, there's the belief that you cannot light candles for Pombagira, for example, or Exu inside your house.
Okay.
I cannot pinpoint exactly where that comes from or why, but many people believe that, and I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. That's a lie because I do it every week and I'm here.
Yeah.
Well and good.
I am alive. That's
That's a filthy
interesting.
lie.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe so. I think of like the old traditions of Hades and how he received offerings, and when there was a little bit of like fear around the spirit, not bad fear, but like they were a god of the dead, they were a god of the crossroads, they were a
Hmm.
god of something that you maybe didn't want in your house. They
Hmm.
would always do it outside. So I wonder if there's a level to. I don't know anything about Pompadour.
Yeah,
I will say
yeah.
this.
I mean, as you've said,
Hmm.
unknown ancestors, they are spicy and
Yeah.
they do bring a certain energy, you
Hmm.
see, and not everybody like in your household will be able maybe to handle that, or
Hmm.
you don't know how other people could react to that difference.
Hmm.
That could be a thing. But I think there's something more to that, something maybe a little bit political, a little bit historical, because
Yeah.
all of those cults, they are Afro-Brazilian
Yeah.
cults.
Hmm.
And to this day, there's a lot of resistance and prejudice. And no, let's not practice those things because it's of the devil or something. So
Hmm.
there could be some kind of link to that, but I have to research a little bit more to get the
Yeah.
details out of it. Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go. A kiss to my mom. She doesn't
Oh,
speak English, but she watches my videos.
she watches my video. I do divination utilizing animal parts, also known as augury. All of the
Hmm.
saints I work with are those that my family had relationships with before me, or spit is an incredibly important part of my practice.
Hmm. The second one, was it estates that you said?
Saints, the whole
Saints. Ah,
saints, the holy guys.
meu Deus.
You go estates,
The
and then
states?
what?
What? I would say it's the first one. Oh my God, no!
No.
I am in shock. How do you not practice?
So augury is like intense. Augury, or no, not augury. It's like the one with the freaking guts that I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. I don't know
But I
what's that
don't I
called.
I don't do any
I
I don't do
thought
any divination with animal parts.
I thought you meant like bones,
I still don't do that.
You don't do that? I am surprised.
Everyone's surprised. No one ever like I
Yes, because
tried,
uh-huh.
but I could never really. I tried to make a throwing kit and I tried to get into it, but it just was not something I ever really picked up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I haven't tried that. I don't know. Not yet, at least. It
Hmm.
seems interesting, but nah, for now, I'm good.
Yeah,
But I
it's
am
a.
surprised to learn that you don't do it because you do have many bones and everything. So I thought it would be something that you would do. My
I so there
God.
is a like Italian divination using a sheep scapula that I
Mm-hmm.
want to learn eventually, but it's like after the sheep has been killed, you look at the
Okay,
scapula
yeah.
and you can tell the harvest.
Oh yeah, but you're right. Imagine divination with the guts of an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That one's
something
called
you.
haruspices, haruspices, or haruspixes. And then augury is divination by birds, which I also don't know how to do.
Yeah, me neither. Me
Yeah.
neither. I'm still suffering with the cowrie shell thing because
Hmm.
there's a cowrie shell divination system that comes
Hmm.
from African heritage. It's 16 shells, but it's incredibly complex.
Yeah.
I still haven't mastered it.
Hmm.
So I'm not very confident about it yet, but yeah, it's a throwing of shells. It
Hmm.
sounds so cute and delicate. I'm throwing
No, that sounds
shells.
so hard. I've gotten readings from someone who reads cowrie shells, and whenever they throw the cowrie shells, I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked up. This is gonna be a rough time. Like this, they're gonna yell at me.
Yeah,
um,
it's hard.
the true one was the third one.
Which was again?
Fit is an incredibly important part of my practice.
So please do tell how exactly you use that in your practice because I do use it as well, but for specific purposes only.
Yeah. So spit is a very protective thing, or it can be a very like putting harm onto another person thing. I won't speak about the latter, but the former, whenever you think you have like an evil eye on you, you like spit 3 times. And
Okay.
so that kind of expands on this idea of like the vitality and moisture of the body being dried up when you have the evil eye in Italian American folk
Mm-hmm.
magic. And this is what I was taught. This was taught to me by like Lisa Fazio, is that like you have kind of a drying up of vitality that causes causes the evil eye and causes problems, and all kind of things are around that vitality. But for me, spit is something that like it's what I give to spirits. It's what I use to protect myself. I will put it in like a protective bag sometimes and spit in it. But you can also use it to like if you think of someone while spitting over your left shoulder and you kind of throw like a crossing on them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Are you taking notes? I hope so.
I'm never gonna hear me say anything about that again. So I'm gonna be like, "Didn't you say this?" I go, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything that ever happened."
Yay, yes. So, you guys, everybody, this is our, like, one part of the video is for my channel. I should have said that at the beginning, I forgot. Every time I do a collab, I get a little bit nervous, you know?
Yep.
I don't say the thing at the beginning as I usually do. I forget everything and I don't say it, basically. And yes, one part of the collab is on my channel and the rest is going to be on Frankie's channel. So if you want to get the whole thing that we are exchanging here, head over to their channel to watch the continuation of this. And my God, thank you so much for
Of course.
this time, this exchange. Ai, meu Deus.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to do further collabs with you in the future.
Oh, yeah, imagine it would be so cool if one day I go to the United States. I will have so many people to visit. I hope.
You will. Or we alternatively will come to France because the United States right
Yes.
now may be easier if we go there.
Yes, I can help you to talk to people over here if you need.
Yeah, my French is not a thing right now.
So yeah, I forgot what I say at the
Okay,
beginning, at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and we're gonna see each other again soon. Okay?
bye.
Bye bye.